Stavakaya Jadharmasya Sarvadharmasvarupine Avatara Varishtaya Ramakrishna Te Namah. Asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya asato ma sadgamaya tamaso ma jyotirgamaya Pratyormamritangamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Let us offer our salutations to Sri Ramakrishna, the embodiment of all religions, the Supreme God Incarnate. Let us pray to Him to remove all our ignorance, to light the lamp of knowledge, to lead us from death to immortality. Spiritual life is to be well established, to have spiritual achievements. So, we have to be definite about our life. Though we are living in this world, though we are staying in home, yet it should be possible to practice spirituality. Practice of spirituality means fighting the evil, establishing oneself on the noble virtues. Sri Ramakrishna, in the course of his talks, said to Pandit Shashadhar, a great scholar of that time, a very sincere, devoted scholar, brought up in well-established orthodox tradition. He commanded great respect among the people, and he was a source of inspiration to large number of people. He explained to them the philosophy and the teachings of the Upanishads. And he would always go and give discourses on the spiritual matters. A very sincere person. So if one is sincere and straightforward, God comes to him. Shows His grace to him, gives peace and joy to him. Here is the example. Sri Ramakrishna himself came to see him. Sri Ramakrishna had met previously one great scholar at that time, a philanthropist, well respected scholar. His name was Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. And he had requested Divine Mother that he should like to see another scholar, and Sri Ramakrishna felt that Divine Mother responded to his prayer, and he has come to talk to Pandit Shashadhar directly. How through his talks he made Pandit aware of practical spirituality. In the course of his talks with him, Sri Ramakrishna said in clear terms that in this modern age, the path of devotion described by Narad is best. Sri Ramakrishna himself practiced devotion, got the desired result, practiced the path of knowledge, experienced the absolute reality. With all that experience, he is telling, in this age, bhakti is best. There is a great point in this teaching of Sri Ramakrishna. People are very much aware of their individuality. Each one thinks what will happen to him. If somebody takes care of him, he is prepared to do anything for him. That means he is more concerned about his individual self. So, as long as you are identified with your body, mind, intellect and ego, you feel comfortable to follow a path whereby you would be able to communicate yourself with a person so that you feel the joy of spirituality. So Sri Ramakrishna prescribes the path of devotion to the people in this age. That means devotion to personal God. As long as you are having ego and separate identity, you can't think of formless absolute reality. You can't comprehend the greatness of the formless reality as long as you are under the realm of Prakriti or nature. So, Sri Ramakrishna is suggesting to cultivate bhakti. What is bhakti? It is love of God. Love of God. This is the one essential thing. To see an object, you require an eye. With eyes, you can see an object. In the same way, to see God, you must have an eye. Bhakti is the eye. E-Y-E. Not ego eye. So bhakti is the eye with which you can see God. It is not that after seeing God you love Him. It is by having love for Him that you see Him. So it means we must develop love for God even before seeing Him. So how Sri Ramakrishna has brought us, has cornered us. So the very prerequisite to seeing God is love for Him. Without that, how can you see God? Again, Sri Ramakrishna tells, you can't see God with these physical eyes. When you continue to do spiritual practices, follow spiritual disciplines, your whole metabolism gets transformed. You will get a love body, endowed with love eyes, endowed with love ears. All your senses become lovely. So one sees God with those love eyes. And there is nothing extraordinary in loving God before seeing God. Love is already there in every heart. In some way or other, each one gives expression to that love. A person loves plants, animals, nature, beauty. That means the love is there. It tries to find an expression. Swami Vivekananda, who preached Vedanta in the West, who preached all the yogas, jnana, bhakti, karma, and meditation. He said about bhakti, you must know he is adept in bhakti, he is adept in jnana, he is adept in karma, he is adept in meditation, he is adept in all the yogas. Referring to Vivekananda, it is said, though through his discourses he seems to be jnani, a man of intellect, but within him you find he is man of devotion. Bhakti inside, jnana outside. Sri Ramakrishna, bhakti outside, jnana inside. That is the combination. Now here you can understand what fine expression Vivekananda has given, how he has expressed the most wonderful practice of bhakti. He is telling the bhakti is within you. It is only there. Then why you are not able to experience? Because a veil of lust and wealth has covered it. Beautiful, wide open 5 feet by 5 feet window is fixed on the wall, through which the bright sun reflects and illumines the whole hall. But if you put a cloth, even though the window is wide, even though the glass is clean and clear, even though the most beautiful hot sun, noonday sun is there, still you are not able to enjoy the sunlight in the room because of the covering of the screen. Remove that covering. You will see how you get the sunlight. So, Swami Vivekananda is telling you, once that cover is taken out, removed, what is that cover? The cover of lust and wealth. When that cover is taken out, bhakti will manifest by itself. You will be astonished. You will be in raptures. You will be thrilled. And you won't like anything else other than devotion, because you enjoy immensely. There is liveliness in bhakti. So, you must deliberately cultivate bhakti. Deliberately. In the manner you grow flowers, fruits, vegetables in your gardens, in the same way you must also cultivate bhakti in the ground of your life. Your life is the ground. A great mystic saint, Ramprasad, says in one of his songs, which is in Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, he says, "O mind, you don't know how to farm. Fallow lies the field of your life." That means it is untilled. How rich a harvest you might reap. It's all a question of knowing how to farm your field. You must know it and do it. Knowing, doing must be done. Then only you will get the result. Then only you can raise a rich harvest of devotion from the now fallow grounds of life. If you know how to till the land of life, surely you get the wonderful results. So now the stage is set for you to learn how to till the land. It's all nicely well set. That means you need to know how to till the ground. You need to know how to apply fertilizers. You need to know how to sow seeds. Every stage is important. If you are careless in any one of the stages, the result will not be the desired result. You must sow the seed at the proper time. You must irrigate properly. You must remove weeds as and when they come up. You must fight the various types of pests. Various types of pests, P-E-S-T-S, pests, and harvest the crop when it is ripe. See how many things we have to follow. Simply telling, oh, I am not getting any bhakti, Swamiji, I am coming to temple 25 years. What's good? Even if you come 100 years, you won't get. Yeah. You practice all these different steps which are been said now. Every stage, as I said, your whole attention must be given there. You must dedicate yourself in raising the crop. Then only it's possible. That means your desire to see God must be intense, so that you take all steps to practice in all earnestness. In cultivating bhakti, you need to know few things. You must know what bhakti itself is. In fact, the characteristics of bhakti are described in the scriptures in so many ways, in so many different ways. Narada, the great mystic saint who has given Narada Bhakti Sutra, aphorisms on devotion, whose way of divine love Sri Ramakrishna advises us to follow. That mystic saint says the essential characteristics of bhakti are the consecration of all your activities. All your activities, note that point. By complete self-surrender. That means don't put any conditions in your devotion. Unconditional devotion to God. And extreme anguish if you were to forget Him. Suppose you don't remember God for some reason. I was too busy. Whatever reason you may give. But you must feel extreme pain in not remembering God. So, bhakti is intense love for God. Swami Vivekananda again says in the Bhakti Yoga, which you find in Complete Works of Vivekananda, Volume 3, Swami Vivekananda is telling what he says: Bhakti Yoga is a real, genuine search after the Lord. Next sentence is very, very significant. A search beginning, continuing, and ending in love. A devotee once came to see Holy Mother at Udbodhan in Calcutta. He came from a long distance. By the time he reached Mother's place, it was 3 o'clock. Very hot sun. He was just very anxious to see, to have the blessings of Holy Mother. With that idea, thinking about Divine Mother all the time from the start of his journey from his home. So he is very much after seeing Mother. So to say, he is extremely restless to see Mother. So with that intense desire to see Mother, he literally came running. But then it was not so easy for him to go and see Holy Mother. Udbodhan, I don't know, you have seen the place. Mother used to stay upstairs. So one has to climb the staircase to go where Mother was dwelling. At the entrance of the staircase, there is a Swami who was watching people who go inside and come out and so on. So he immediately said to that person, "Look, now you can't see Mother. She has just returned from a home and she's now, just now she has gone to take rest." So he didn't allow. And do you know what the devotee's response? He said, "Well, is she just your mother? Is she just your mother?" By telling that, he practically pushed the Swami and went upstairs. And he met the Mother, he paid his he offered his salutations, but he felt repentant for his rash. Mother-in-law gradually lessens her duties in the house. When her time arrives, she does practically nothing. And after the child is born, her only work is to play with it. She doesn't do any household duties at all. The Sandhya merges in the Gayatri in Om, and Om in Samadhi. It is like the sound of a bell, Tam. The yogi, by following in the trail of the sound Om, gradually merges himself in the Supreme Brahman. His Sandhya and other ritualistic duties disappear in samadhi. Thus the duties of the jnani come to an end. As the master talked of samadhi, he himself went into that state. His face radiated a heavenly light. Bereft of outer consciousness, he could not utter another word. His gaze was indrawn and transfixed in communion with the self. After a long time, the master began to recognize the world around him and said like a child, "I shall have a drink of water." Whenever after samadhi the master asked for a drink of water, his devotees knew that he was gradually becoming conscious of the outer world. Still lingering in the state of ecstasy, he said to the Divine Mother, "O Mother, the other day you showed me Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar. Then I told you that I should like to see another Pandit, and so you have brought me here." Looking at the Pandit, he said, "My child, add a little more to your strength. Practice spiritual discipline a few days more. You have hardly set your foot on the tree, yet you expect to lay hold of a big cluster of fruit. But, of course, you are doing all this for the welfare of others." With these words, he bowed his head before the Pandit. The master continued, "When I first heard about you, I inquired whether you were merely erudite or whether you had discrimination and renunciation. A Pandit who doesn't know how to discriminate between the real and the unreal is no Pandit at all. There is no harm in teaching others if the preacher has a commission from the Lord. Nobody can confound a preacher who teaches people after having received the command of God. Getting a ray of light from the goddess of learning, a man becomes so powerful that before him big scholars seem mere earthworms. When the lamp is lighted, the moths come in swarms. They don't have to be invited. In the same way, the preacher who has a commission from God need not invite people to hear him. He doesn't have to announce the time of his lectures. He possesses such irresistible attraction that people come to him of their own accord. People of all classes, even kings and aristocrats, gather around him. They say to him, "Revered sir, what can we offer you? Here are mangoes, sweets, money, shawls, and other things. What will you be pleased to accept?" In that case, I say to them, "Go away. I don't care for this. I don't want anything." Does the magnet say to the iron, "Come near me"? That's not necessary. Because of the attraction of the magnet, the iron rushes to it. Such a preacher may not be a scholarly person, but don't conclude from that he has any lack of wisdom. Does book learning make one wise? He who has a commission from God never runs short of wisdom. That wisdom comes from God. It is inexhaustible. At Kamarpakor, I have seen people measuring grain. It lies in a heap. One man keeps pushing grain from the heap toward another man who weighs it on his scales. So the man who weighs doesn't run short of grain. It is the same with the preacher who has received a commission from God. As he teaches the people, the Divine Mother herself supplies him with fresh knowledge from behind. the knowledge never comes to an end. Can a preacher ever lack knowledge? If but once he is favored with a benign glance from the Divine Mother. Therefore I ask you whether you have received any commission from God. Hazra said, "Oh yes, he must have it." To the Pandit, "Isn't it true, sir?" Pandit said, "Commission? No, sir, I am afraid I have not received any such thing." Host, "He may not have received the commission, but he preaches from a sense of duty." Master said, "What will a man accomplish by mere lectures without the commission from God?" Once a Brahmo preacher said in the course of his sermon, "Friends, how much I used to drink," and so on. Hearing this, the people began to whisper among themselves, "What is this fool saying? He used to drink?" Now these words produce a very unfavorable effect. This shows that preaching cannot bring a good result unless it comes from a God-man. A high government official from Barisal once said to me, "Sir, if you begin the work of preaching, I too shall gird my loins." I told him the story of people's dirtying the bank of the Haladar Pukor and of its being stopped only when a constable armed with authority from the government put up a notice prohibiting it. So I say, a worthless man may talk his head off preaching and yet he will produce no effect. But people will listen to him if he is armed with a badge of authority from God. One cannot teach others without the commission from God. A teacher of men must have great power. There is many a Hanumanpuri in Calcutta, a noted wrestler of the time. It is with them that you will have to wrestle. Pointing to the people assembled there, these are mere sheep. Chaitanya Deva was an incarnation of God. How little is left of what he accomplished, not to speak of a lecturer who preaches without authority from God. What good will a lecturer do? Therefore I say to you, dive deep in God consciousness. Saying this, the Master began to sing in an ecstasy of love for God. Dive deep, O mind, dive deep in the ocean of God's beauty. If you descend to the uttermost depths, there you will find the gem of love. I shall stop here. Any questions? So the easiest path in the Kali Yuga is path of devotion. That's what Sri Ramakrishna has said. Yeah, love of God, that's what, see, the love is already within you, but you have to divert that love towards God. There is various method of cultivating love of God. But generally what happens, our love just puts a barrier. My love is just confined to my own family, my own home. The love is imprisoned in the four walls of your home. So that sort of selfish love is hindrance to experience the pure love. Selfish love leads you towards becoming more and more selfish. You love an object because you want something in return. The moment it becomes tasteless, you throw that object which gave you so much of love, you throw that object into trash bag, because you don't desire any more taste, so you throw that away. That means thing is centered around what you want, what that is to satisfy your desire. So the love is tagged on to the satisfaction of your desires, which cannot be satisfied all the time. And because it cannot be satisfied, in love also gets into all sorts of mutations. Love turns itself into anger. Anger turns itself into losing power of intellect, and that leads to destruction of your own self. That means you will commit all sorts of crimes. All this is because, for the simple reason that your love was not allowed to expand in a proper way. The satisfaction of the desires was thought of as real love. No, the concept of real love you can understand a little bit if you study the love between mother and the child. That is the purest form of love. You can see the manifestation of that kind of pure love among the animals. How the mothers take care of their kids. That is the. And as I said, there are various methods of practicing, cultivating the love, but one method is have a personal God, render your service to Him, devote all your energies in loving the chosen ideal, and all this bears real good result when you practice all the ethical and moral disciplines which are very essential in practicing any yoga. Whether you practice bhakti yoga, karma yoga, whatever yoga you practice, the basic disciplines are to be followed. The basic disciplines are truthfulness, straightforwardness, free from crookedness, not hurting anyone, all these things. So you must have firm foundation and concentrate upon the service to your chosen ideal. And as Narada Maharshi himself said, consecrate all your activities. The consecration of activities can happen only when you cherish love in your activities. In that way, you will be not only your love towards brothers and sisters as well as your love towards other fellow beings are the same. You come to that level. So you have to develop that way. Then only it is possible to experience the real love of God. Once you get the desired result of communicating with your chosen ideal, you will see the same chosen ideal in all the beings, in all the creation, in all plants, animals, animate, inanimate objects, everywhere. Then only you will realize God is present everywhere. He is everywhere. Because He is everywhere, you are joyful everywhere. Wherever you go, you are joyful. Because you see God wherever you go. That's the way. Any more? What is the question? Yeah, that is true. Concept of bhakti, yes, you have to study it properly and you have to adopt it in your life. That's the point. Because the easiest way, you don't have to struggle much to love, because the love is already there in you. So take all precautions to see how that love manifests more and more. That's all. In Bhakti Shastra, the methods are prescribed. Of course, various methods are there. One method is to concentrate upon your chosen ideal and offer mental worship. So, doing that mental worship wholeheartedly and visualizing your chosen ideal is ever present in your heart, and just for the time being you forget your little self, be humble like a child and offer your prayers and devotions to your chosen ideal, and then remember Him when you do your activities. So the meditation and practices which you do in the beginning of the day should carry you forward with the same mood, with the same vibrations in your mind. You must be able to carry on your activities. That would be helping you to maintain your continuity of devotions to the chosen ideal. And secondly, you will have to have relationship with God in a definite way. How you look upon God? Do you look upon Him as your father, mother? Or do you look upon Him as your master and you the servant? Whatever attitude, you must fix the attitude that way, and accordingly you must take steps to see that attitude remains intact. So, the third method is repeating the name of God with great love and devotion, feeling more and more joy in doing Lord's work. As I said, you will enjoy the practice of devotion when you practice the other disciplines which I mentioned: truthfulness, non-violence, non-stealing, etc. So, following those basic principles, disciplines, if you practice this way, and the longing to have the vision of God becomes more and more intense, and your earnestness will bring you more close to God. That way your love expands, and you will have to take other steps, the things which distract you from your path of devotion must be completely avoided. That means association with holy, association with holy atmosphere, reading the holy scriptures, particularly the stories of your chosen ideal. All these things will help to develop more and more love towards God, and trying to see God in everything. So that attitude helps us to keep your mind peaceful. If I see a God in a person, if I really aspire that, I will not hurt that person. I will not cause anything that displeases that person. So that way, I will not be angry, because if I become angry, if I abuse, if I use some harsh words, I am hurting my chosen deity who is living in the person whom I am scolding. So we should avoid using harsh words, etc. Like this, various things we have to adapt, and as I said earlier, one method is complete resignation to God. That means you put everything into Him. Don't own anything. Don't possess anything. My whole being belongs to Him whom I love. Finished. Let Him take care of it. With that feeling, you will be able to consecrate all your activities in a proper way, and you will enjoy peace. At the correct time, you will get the vision of God too. Like that. Holy association is very important. If there are 10 people who regularly come and do meditation, if another person comes, he also likes to sit for a few minutes and feel the joy of that. See, all 10-20 people are sitting quietly, so calmly. Why should I not also try? And he also feels kind of peacefulness. In the same way, some group have come and singing the glories of God, and that creates a very good feeling in the heart. It soothes the nerves, it removes all the worries, and you feel joyful, and you would like to join the group, and you would like to sing along with them. And that way, these are all methods to enhance your love towards God. And regularly reading, chanting of mantras and stotras, all these things help. But you have to be very watchful about things going on in your heart. That's very important. What is going on in myself? Why I got irritation? Why I became jealous? Why I felt hurt? So all these things, why and why, keep on asking, keep on analyzing. That way you will be able to maintain proper mood. But generally we won't do that. When you become angry, you don't think of getting over that, you don't think of overcoming that anger, you think of doing something in that angry mood. That's bad. Anger comes on account of some samskara, some reaction. Well, it comes, it goes, if you keep quiet for a time being. It's not the question of suppression. Simply keep quiet. Think of God and do some things so that you may forget that. After some time, it doesn't have the bad effect upon you. But generally what happens, when the anger comes, they act impulsively. They tell also, before my anger go, I should do something. Like that they go and do something. Afterwards they'll repent. Some people even say, I have heard people talking, even if I go to prison, doesn't matter. I must punish him. But after punishing him, if he goes to prison, he feels very bad afterwards. But he's so egoistic at that moment, even if, as if he's not caring for prison. Like that. But anyway, one has to tone up one's ego. It's very difficult, but not impossible. Alright, we shall conclude. Chant the name of the Lord and His glory unceasingly, that the mirror of the heart may be wiped clean and quench that mighty forest fire, worldly lust, raging furiously within. O name, stream down in moonlight on the lotus heart, opening its curve to knowledge of thyself. O self, drowned deep in the waves of His bliss, tasting His nectar at every step, bathing in His name, that bath for weary souls. Various are thy names, O Lord, in each and every name thy power resides. No times are set, no rites are needful for chanting of thy name. So vast is thy mercy, how huge then is my wretchedness, who finds in this empty life and heart no devotion to thy name. O my mind, be humbler than a blade of grass, be patient and forbearing like a tree, take no honor to thyself, give honor to all, chant unceasingly the name of the Lord. O Lord and soul of the universe, mine is no prayer for wealth or retinue, the playthings of lust or the toys of fame. As many times as they may be reborn, grant me, O Lord, a steadfast love for thee. A drowning man in this world's fearful ocean is thy servant, O sweet one. In thy mercy consider him as dust beneath thy feet. Ah, how I long for the day when an instant separation from thee, O Lord, will be as 1,000 years, when my heart burns away with its desire, and the world without thee is a heartless void. Prostrate at thy feet may let me be an unwavering devotion, neither imploring the embrace of thine arms, nor bewailing the withdrawal of thy presence, though it tears my soul asunder. O thou who stillest the hearts of thy devotees, do with me what thou wilt, for thou art my heart's beloved, thou and thou alone. O Lord, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, and lead us from death to immortality. May all be free from dangers, may all realize what is good, may all be actuated by noble thoughts, may all rejoice everywhere. May all be happy, may all be free from disease, may all realize what is good, may none be subject to misery. May the wicked become virtuous, may the virtuous attain tranquility, may the tranquil be free from bonds, may the freed make others free. May good betide all people, may the sovereign righteously rule the earth, may all beings ever attain what is good, may the worlds be prosperous and happy, may the clouds pour rain in time, may the earth be blessed with crops, may all countries be free from calamity, may holy men live without fear. May the Lord, the destroyer of sins, the presiding deity of all sacred works, be satisfied. For he being pleased, the whole universe becomes pleased. He being satisfied, the whole universe feels satisfied.